So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Name?
My man.
Okay.
Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic.
That's great, partner. You two ever go place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog.
How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
first.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile. Smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you guys all are doing well out there, enjoying your Tuesday. It is already Tuesday, y'all. I don't know why like Monday felt like it went through so fast. I feel like I flew through Monday so dang fast, y'all. You know, it was just woo! What a crazy day yesterday was. But it's an even crazier show today. We got to talk about gas. No, not because you ate that red beans and rice. We talking about actual gas today. That is a crazy story because, well, we're going to get into it here in a second because there's a lot of things that are going on with with this Colonial pipeline hack that went down. And if you live in various states right now, a lot of states are seeing some shortage. We are going to be talking about that here very, very shortly. Like I said, today's show is a little light, but we got to talk about gas. We got to talk about gas. Didn't think we were going to talk about gas, but we're going to talk about gas. Like I said, we will talk about gas here in a second. Can I say how many times am I going to say talking about gas? Just the phrase talking about gas. You know what I'm saying? Inquiring minds would like to know. But anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well, enjoying your morning. File on in, jump on in. There's a lot to talk about. Be sure to hit that like button, get those likes all the way up. Send this show all the way up on some positive stuff today. Like I said, today's a light one. It's not as intense as it usually is, y'all. You know, it's not like police brutality, body cam footage, and death today, which is kind of a nice change of pace, to be really, really honest. But we still got to talk about these stories, and we're going to be talking about gas. Yes, like I said, we're going to be talking about gas. But anyway, hopefully you guys had a wonderful night, enjoyed the rest of your day yesterday, and of course we got to get into the news. But before we do that, my brother David is in the house. What up, man?
Hey, man. Not much, really. Like you said, for me, too. Yesterday was busy. It just went by pretty quickly. Still have a lot I want to get done from yesterday, but and it's only Tuesday, too. I'm already ready for the weekend, so I have more time.
Right.
But, yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you on it 110%. I'm ready. I'm already ready for the weekend, but at the same time, like, we got to get up and make the donuts, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So let's jump into this, y'all. We got this story. It's a story about gas. Like I said, we're going straight into it because we ain't got time for it. We got to get straight to the point. And sometimes, it's a very important thing. All right. And it's really bad right now. Coffee. I'm seeing people saying need coffee. Coffee, not coffee, but gas, which actually is another form of gas for the human body, but there's no shortage of coffee. We're talking about shortage of gas. There is a shortage of gas because they're calling it the Colonial pipeline hack right now. And like I said before, there was a lot of people that have been going up on the microphone and sitting there going, there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. Well, there are cars lining around blocks waiting for a chance to fill their tanks up. People are actually going out of their way to go to gas stations right now, filling up tanks, filling up canisters of gas, just in case there is a full-on nationwide shortage. This is also affecting apparently airlines as well. So there's a lot that we got to talk about. This is a very big story. And I'm sure you're wondering, how long is this going to last for? Should I get back into cycling? You know, ladies, you have that husband that is riding around in a full-on tight, weird outfit, looks like a penis with a cap on it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, no, don't do this. No. But now you might be like, babe, how much was that bike? And can I get one too? Seriously. Is that the question? Do we have to start riding our bicycles and learning how to rollerblade again? Remember that stuff? Rollerblading. Yeah. Do we have to do that again? Inquiring minds would like to know. David's got the story. What's a guan, bruh?
All right. So like you said, this one is really complicated here. There's a lot of effects that we ended up having just because of this pipeline being shut down. However, for the initial attack, they're still kind of investigating exactly what went on there. It is known that the hackers are part of a group called DarkSide, which is a Russian-based hacker group that is not technically backed by the government of Russia, but the Russian government does not interfere with hacker groups that attack foreign nations. As long as they do not do anything in Russia, they can do whatever they want as far as Russia is concerned.
This is not, by the way, this is not the character from Justice League, just so you know. The actual hacking company. I had to throw a little humor in here. You know what I mean? You're bringing in some bad news, so I'm just gonna sprinkle little comedy crack, if you will. Go ahead.
I'm still hoping they do the Justice League with DarkSide, the part 2, but
we'll see. We'll see about that.
We'll see. But anyway, so these hackers, like I said, they're part of the group DarkSide, which is a hacking group that's been around for at least 5 years, probably longer. And basically all they did was hack the fuel pipeline and locked it up so that it was unable to be used by the people that were working there. Later on, the group released a statement saying that they do not plan to create chaos, they only want money. And that's basically what the ransomware was about. It's like one of those things you saw with Bitcoins hacking Windows in the past where they would give you this option. It was all fraud, but like give you the option to pay for it. And it just doesn't really work out the way we need it to right now because there's other issues that are affecting us. So we don't have the fuel because of that pipeline. But on top of that, there are other issues that the hackers didn't have a direct effect on, but still are a major problem. For instance, oil production had to be shut down for 2 months from one of the, or not for 2 months, but ever since then, 2 weeks. Motiva Enterprises had to drop their crude distillation process by almost half because there's nowhere to process. There's no gas for it to be processed into. And right now they have they're managing about 607,000 barrels a day, which is much less than what we've had before. One thing that we've done recently to try and overcome this is that Biden and his administration has eased a lot of the safety and environmental rules on transporting oil and fuel, and 4 ships have been conscripted to bring in fuel right now from other nations. Previously, this was banned because of risks of sinking and releasing the oil along the coastline, which has happened before, and is something that these rules are generally made to prevent, so we don't have a bunch of oil spills off of the East Coast. However, there's so much of a shortage on the East Coast right now that a lot of people, especially in Southeast U.S., Florida and Georgia mostly, but it gets worse. I mean, it's just as bad along northeastern, like New England areas. It's just kind of moving its way up there. And so the problem is that we have very few ways of getting fuel in right now as long as the pipeline is down. And a lot of them are stand up on the spot, like I said, with those freighters. But an additional problem with getting this gas over here is that they actually do not have enough drivers or tankers right now to actually perform the work. That's actually a major problem with them right now is they do not have enough workers. And you kind of see this in Biden or not.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
And you can kind of see this in Biden and his job report that he talked about just, I think, yesterday. He himself pointed out that basically people are not going back to work. And he specifically stated that if there is work for you to go to and perform, you should not be under disability or not disability, unemployment or other similar benefits. Because that is expected to be a problem here because ironically, people aren't going back to their jobs. Right now, we still have 3.5 million people out of work that lost their jobs because of COVID. 5 million are working part-time jobs, even if they want full-time work, because a lot of these companies can't pay for it right now because there has been wage increases that have closed down, like grocery stores in California, for instance. And we still have 2.1 million people that are laid off, a lot of them from fuel industry, actually, because those are some of the jobs that were hit early on. And this is just a major problem right now. So
real quick. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's like double Dutch. I'm just trying to jump in really quick. All right. So first off, I'm sorry. I'm cracking up at this name. Thank Dems for hacking, aka the Green New Deal. I just thought that was hilarious. I'm sorry. It's just hilarious to me. And I wanted to say it before I have a feeling that person is going to get banned or silenced here very, very soon if they keep saying crazy stuff. So I'm just saying that right now because I thought that was funny. Moving on. The question I have is, because I know that a lot of people are going, wait a second, did this hack happen a while ago and we're just getting news of it now? Did this happen 2 days ago? How is this affecting us now if the hack happened just recently? You see what I'm saying? So if the hack happened like 2-3 weeks ago or 2 months ago and they didn't tell us about anything until like yesterday, that's a huge major problem. Because right now you're making it sound like the hack happened 2 weeks ago, which could very well affect the distribution and transportation of gas. So that's the question I had before you continue, because you were starting to spout out a whole bunch, and I'm like, wait a second, we need to know the origin of this story real quick. What's the root of it all? How did this start, and why were we not given a heads up, at least? I feel like this just came out of nowhere, to be honest. We woke up Monday morning and they're like, the Colonial pipeline has been hacked. And then they got a representative sitting there going, no, it won't affect anything with any person. It won't affect anyone. Then 7 hours later, there are cars lined around gas stations in places like Virginia and other states like as such. And I'm going, okay, well, how much of this is true and how much of this is just them just straight up fibbing?
So 2 weeks ago was when the FBI announced that it was officially the group DarkSide that was hacking them. Part of what was involved with that, I don't think they released it immediately, but there was a extensive bit of, I guess, cyber warfare right afterward. So that might be why we didn't hear about all of it immediately, because the FBI eventually ended up trying to locate these people. They managed to shut down their server remotely, and they also worked with the White House and the Department of Energy over the weekend. The weekend it happened, so 2 weeks ago. That's when they figured out basically who it was. It's being ran by the FBI office in San Francisco. And even though it's on the East Coast, I don't know why San Francisco is handling this. You would think it would be, like Boston FBI or one of the other major cities, but for some reason it is. It's not. Anyway, so this is basically just what happened. Was these hackers, DarkSide, came in. They found a weakness in the system, in the digital system controlling the pipeline. They used a piece of ransomware, which is basically a hack or a virus, and they locked up a lot of the controls they have for fuel or redirected fuel and did not give back control. So at that point, DarkSide was maintaining control of the pipeline, and that was part of what was preventing us from getting it back up. The FBI had to engage in cyber warfare to knock down that server so that all of the fuel programs could be basically reclaimed by the workers there. And that that is generally what we're at here. Right? They asked specifically for money. They didn't release how much money Darkseid wanted, but it was basically a hostage situation, I guess you could say, where Darkseid wanted money and then it would be over. We saw this before with some ransomware in Windows 10 and stuff. I'm not sure why it took them so long to get to it. Like you said, it was 2 weeks ago. It took them about 4 or 5 days to manage the situation, but it still leaves 12 days. They could have brought this up a little sooner. So right now they're trying to figure out if the Russian government actually had any involvement or if it was just a hacker group. Because as I said before, Russia does not attack hacker groups that focus on foreign nations. It's only if they attack Russia or maybe one of their allies that the government will actually take an interest in the hackers. And that's why I think that Russia is one of the highest places for hackers right now, because the government does not prosecute you for that. And you can get like 30 or 50 years for minor hacking in the U.S. It's I would say it's actually excessive in the U.S. how much trouble you can get in for that. But in Russia, that's just not the case. So from what we can tell, Darkseid just wanted money. They said that they are apolitical and that they do not want to create chaos. They just want to be paid, basically. And,
they did one thing that they didn't want to do, which is cause chaos. I mean, literally, there are cars, there are literally lines at Costco gas stations, at any BP, Phillips 66, you name it, just literally just lining up with people trying to get gas. I mean, even so, you said yourself, and you're in Colorado, you even said yourself that you're planning on going and getting a bunch of tanks, or those tanks, I guess, and filling them up with containers, and you're going to fill them up with gas just so that you have some just in case. In fact, hold on one second. Keep telling them more stuff real quick. I'll be right back.
We just started producing crude oil again, so there's going to be a shortage for a while, even though we have the pipeline back in control. It's just still going to take time to catch back up because crude oil was not being sent to be processed into gas for about 2 weeks after that pipeline hack, because they had nowhere to put it, more or less. And so this is causing additional shortages. Ironically, it's also making it harder to distribute fuel because there isn't necessarily enough fuel or workers to distribute what they do have. And this is affecting us further. It's not just fuel that's becoming an issue. So we have still shortages because we can't transport it across the country. Same with ketchup, actually. Like a lot of places are just now opening up and requiring like ketchup and mayonnaise, mustard, all that. And so there's a huge shortage because there's no one to drive it around.
And wings.
And wings, yeah. Chicken's
wings.
a major shortage right now, too, yeah.
Chicken wings are in a huge shortage right now.
Yeah, it sounds like KFC, B-dubs, and all of that are actually having a bidding war over getting control of the chicken market right now because they're all short, and they want to cut the other one off from getting chicken first, basically. The last thing I really have to say on this is you kind of already pointed it out, that the news is acting like this doesn't exist, like this shortage isn't happening. We've kind of known about it for 2 weeks. We've had most of the information for at least a week and a half. And for some reason, the news, and I specifically mean television news, you can find articles about it online fairly easily, have not talked about this fuel shortage. They didn't even prepare people in the Southeast for this fuel shortage when it was fairly guaranteed to come, just because it's going to take a while to get everything back into the process. So you have the 2 weeks lost from the fuel not work, the pipe not working, but you also have another week or two lost waiting for catch up from crude oil and everything. And the news just ignored this for a long time, and now people are, like you said, in those huge lines because they didn't know to expect this.
Yeah, no one, like I said, it seemed like they said, don't worry about it, it's no big deal. It's not going to be a big deal, guys. Everything's going to be all right. And then all of a sudden, boom, now we're seeing people in places like in the southern states now starting to have an issue. I haven't seen it in my neck of the woods. I don't think you're going to see it in yours either, in Colorado, David. But
probably not.
Maybe they will trickle over. I don't know. I mean, so far, it's not like I sit there and eat. Like, for example, it's not like I sit down and eat wings every single day. So, I've never noticed a change in shortage, if that makes any sense. But I know a lot of people that do own restaurants and bars in my city, and a lot of them are saying like, yeah, it's very tough to get chicken wings, for example. So if this turns into a thing where, there's a shortage throughout the entire nation, that can affect a lot of people. That could be a huge problem for a lot of things. Also, they're saying on top of that, let me just pull up this article here really quick. They're also saying that American Airlines is adding stops to 2 of its long-haul flights from its Charlotte, North Carolina hub as likely an effort to conserve fuel in areas where it would run short. So, I mean, even now, American Airlines is now starting to shorten their flights so that they can conserve fuel. That's how bad it is right now. So imagine if you're trying to travel anytime soon. All right. Biden in China did the hack. Needs to go. I'm just going to say that out loud. Goodbye. Somebody, mods, do your modding. I love you guys. Anyway, moving on. And that's the first time I ever said something like that out loud. But hey, these are the breaks. All right. Times are changing. Here it is. No, what I was trying to say is that imagine how much plane tickets are going to be. Imagine how expensive they're going to get if fuel gets even more scarce. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's about to get bad. I guarantee you. Because if it's already affecting us now, and then here it is, then I've seen many interviews, many questions of like, well, what's going to happen when the summer comes and people are going to be traveling a lot more? What are you going to do? And I've been seeing this on every single media outlet there is out there, and all of the representatives of gas, I guess, are basically saying everything's going to be fine. But I don't see it being fine. I see all these people freaking out. No, well, not freaking out. These are just people trying to get gas. Straight up just trying to get gas, and they're lined up in a line. They got people who are manning the lines, like trying to control the traffic going into the gas stations. That's not supposed to be happening. You got people controlling the traffic going into the gas station? Something's not right. And this could very well trickle. These are only where I live. This is only a state away. This issue. This could trickle on over. I guarantee you that. What are you going to say, David?
I was going to say, it should end up trickling out through the rest of the country eventually. We'll probably start seeing the ramifications over the next few weeks because, I don't know, there's just a lot of there's just a lot being lost here in terms of fuel production and the fact that we didn't stop using fuel at the same time. So we're basically looking at kind of a return to, I think it was like 2003 or 2001 prices where we had about $5 a gallon. Maybe it's a little later than that, but it was $5 a gallon before. And we're kind of looking at that coming back again. So if nothing else, the increase in fuel prices will affect everyone, and that is likely to affect you in other ways as well, just because that will mean that people are getting laid off and that routes are shortened so that they can try to maintain on fuel, especially if Mayorkas and Biden's plan for taxation by mileage goes through over the next few months, which is planned to happen, though it's not guaranteed that it will go through.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about this anymore because honestly, like, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. And if this happens, this is the only thing I can say is this just shows us how dependent we are on software. Couple zeros and ones, right? And next thing you know, everything's getting shut down. And now I'm sorry, I don't give a damn. What like Biden just is using some excuse like, oh no, it's because we don't have enough people, working anymore. Everyone's trying to capitalize on their unemployment. Nah, it ain't even it. Nah, it's not even that. It's called somebody hacked into that ish, messed ish up, and now there's a shortage. It has nothing to do with human bodies moving stuff. By the way, during the whole panty, okay, during the pineapple blast, all right, we've had gas. There's not been any shortage of gas. So you can't tell me that suddenly there's a shortage of gas because there's less people working behind the wheel. That's an absolute terrible excuse. Like I said, we were dealing with a terrible thing in 2020 and still dealing with it to this day. And those essential workers were still working out in these streets. Ain't never heard anything about a gas shortage in 2020. Never heard anything about that. Only when it got hacked. That's when he's like, oh no, there's not enough people working. And all y'all out there that are trying to collect on unemployment right now, you better go and not collect unemployment right now. I mean, it's like, what is that? That doesn't mean anything to me. Everything's been going just fine. Just fine. I mean, I understand about the chicken wings. That sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Shortage. But at the same time, as far as gas was, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. We could, like, I'm good with not eating chicken wings for a while. Like, it's all good. If there's a shortage, oh, bruh, damn. Okay, I'll take the burger. I would have been, like, I'd be living long and prospering just fine. So it's not that. Gas has been around, and they have not talked about that until just now. Until just now, y'all. So I think that's absolute horse manure. That's what I said. Horse manure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily something I totally believe from their point of view, but everything was shut down for those 2 weeks. Like I said, even crude oil production was down. So one of the things they have to do that's unusual is that they have to pretty much transfer to basically 3 weeks worth of fuel so that they can end up catching up with it. That's why Biden conscripted 4 freighters to get that oil to other places. Because I think it was just today, maybe last night, that they started producing crude oil again. And it's going to take about a week for them to produce enough and distribute it to all the fuel centers, which is why we're going to see the $5 price increase later. I don't really know. I mean, they've said that workers are a problem, but I don't know how hard it actually is for them to find workers to drive and to drive the boats. But there is going to be a little more delay than usual either way, just because everything was shut down for 2 weeks. Since crude oil did not know when the pipeline would be back up, and they didn't want to. I mean, basically they laid off workers because they don't want to pay workers that aren't working, and that's not too surprising. We've had 2.1 million get laid off this year so far. So I mean, a lot of this is the problem. Coming also from the worker or from the employment. I mean, we kind of see this in some areas, combination with the new taxes or guidelines from local policies, such as in Southern California, where they had to close down several Kroger's stores because of not having enough workers or not being able to afford enough workers once the local price increase changed. So kind of what's happening here is that some of these companies are marketing people out of their own work because they're looking for. I mean, right now they're looking for part-time workers that they don't have to get all the benefits to. That's why most people coming back are doing part-time work. This isn't necessarily a problem with the American people that are refusing to work. Part of it is the kind of manipulation from the corporations to keep costs down while people did not have work to do, even if they were gainfully employed or if they had less work than usual to do.
Yeah, and I understand, like, Metro customers said during the pandemic, many fuel drivers were laid off. That's true too. That is true. And that is a very good point, but that didn't stop the production. That didn't make a shortage physically happen, or we would have had a huge problem back then. We would have had a huge problem this entire time. Like I said, there would be more people investing in bicycles, unicycles, and rollerblades and skateboards. You know what I'm saying? Like, we would have, or people would just been like, you know, the news would have been like, here are the benefits of just taking a brisk walk. Seriously. They would try to turn it into a benefit. They would try to turn this whole situation into something else. You know, conserve your energy, conserve your gas, that kind of stuff. You know, I think there was a thing in the very beginning. I feel like in the very beginning, where everything went to ish. You know what I mean? Metro customers said I work in fuel. There was no shortage. Absolutely. So, but But I remember in the beginning, I could have sworn that there was a little bit of a scare that there was going to be no gas, but it was like a blip on the radar in a story. It was just kind of like, folks are lining up to get gas. And that was it. It was quick and easy, and that was it. You see what I'm saying? In and out, the story. Because people realized that nothing was going to happen. They thought, oh no, they're going to take our TP. Oh no, they're going to take our paper towels. Actually, TPPT. Hey, you know what I mean? Oh no, they're going to take all of our disinfectant. So they eat everything up, and then they go, oh no, they're going to take our gas. And then people started filling up gas tanks and stuff, canisters and whatnot, because they were worried about things being scarce. Nothing happened, though. There was no shortage.
There's also the issue that a lot of southern states after Texas kind of failed. They are ending up stocking up more on fuel so that they can provide enough power, because one of the problems during the super cold period in Texas was that there wasn't enough power to manage all the heaters and all the furnaces and all of that. And so it actually caused a major power outage in Texas for a lot of people, and it was very dangerous because this was a very cold time. And what we kind of see is that I don't know. I just think that maybe this is a little different. I think just because of those 2 weeks we've missed. It's just such a complicated issue because what is being said about it isn't necessarily on the news isn't necessarily what's really happening here. It seems a lot more complex than the simple hack that went away. We did lose those 2 weeks of fuel distribution, but like someone in chat said, they just laid off so many workers that to kind of keep their profits up. That is part of the problem. It's not that there aren't workers; they just don't employ enough people because they don't want to pay them enough right now. So they are basically what they're doing is using understaffed workers and expecting more work from them for basically the same pay, and so that has been causing problems definitely within the fuel industry. We've seen this a little bit. I think in the first year of Trump's presidency, prices went up by 60 to 80 cents because of some minor fuel loss where we didn't get crude oil for a while. But yeah, I don't know. This isn't just like, this is still a mystery in general. I mean, the FBI doesn't know exactly why it happened. All we know is that DarkSide said they did it for money, but the FBI hasn't fully investigated. There still could be government ties to that group. There could have been actual planned terrorism as part of it. We just won't really know until the FBI does more of an investigation. But unfortunately, our cybersecurity is really bad, especially compared to some other countries. So this may not be an isolated incident, though we really hope it is. And some people in were asking too why the pipeline is shut down if it's hacked. It's because they do use processors to manage the amount of air within there and to control the electromagnetic static around it so it doesn't cause a spark or any sort of damage to the line. So basically, the computerized part is to maintain the safety and to look for any leaks. However, like with most things these days, there's not necessarily a manual backup anymore. You still just have those digital controls. And if those go out, you have several hundred or 1,000 miles of line to physically inspect one after another by eye because there's no other way to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is why we need to not rely on just a whole bunch of digital zeros and ones, so that it's not that easy for somebody to go in, clickety-clack, mess around with stuff, jostle it up, and toss it out the window, and totally mess up things for the rest of the country, right? I mean, I could go a couple days without driving my car. You see what I'm saying? I could go a couple days just to conserve. It's not a problem. But at the same time, there's a lot of people out there that need to go to and from work and all that. But, we're going to have to just sit back, watch to see how this thing grows and if it grows. I'm hoping that it stays. Like, I hope this is just the worst of it, right? I hope that this is just where it is and it just is fixed, right? But I do find it weird that it was something that was talked about kinda, and then now today, or like yesterday, really. Yesterday afternoon, that's when it really hit. As much as one of the representatives is sitting there going, oh, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. 3 hours later, you have people stacking up in lines waiting to get gas. And that could just be paranoia. But some other gas stations ran out of gas. Literally. Ran out. That's crazy, y'all. Now imagine that being a rare, like gas becoming something that is that rare commodity. Now that's insane. That's insane. Imagine how much gas would be, or like a flight, an airline flight will be, if gas is that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. On the bright
That's
side,
insane.
Even if we do have shortages from this, just based on the numbers, they should be able to recover within a month or so, because they should be able to catch up by then. So even if this is a problem over the next few weeks, I think within a month or so, they should be able to have caught up on fuel production. So we might see prices go back to normal. But they also pointed out that there's a unique issue right now where it's coming summer. So people are using more fuel right now to travel and visit family, especially with all the holidays that kind of come in the first part of the year, like Mother's Day, Valentine's, that counts, and New Year's and all of that. So people are using more fuel. That's not necessarily, again, the fault of the people. That's the fault of the government for not making sure they had enough fuel to manage the government. Because obviously people are going to get gas to go where they want. That's kind of the point of vehicles. I mean, we're not restricted on where we can go. So if you want to drive somewhere, that's your right. However, the government has a responsibility to make sure that we do not have shortfalls in this. And they have repeatedly diminished our supply of oil, as well as... which makes us very dependent on foreign nations, basically. Because if we can't produce, even if we have our own oil, we don't have a way to transport it and produce it into usable fuel or jet fuel. It's basically useless. Crude oil is not something that, I don't even think you can use it as a lubrication in your vehicle. I'm pretty sure you can't. It needs to be treated to some degree. But I'm hoping that in a month we see things kind of normalize. That may give them enough time. They will need to hire more workers, which means they probably will have to pay them more. So it's not necessarily a money issue from their part. They will recuperate from this just fine. It's more that the ramifications will be hitting the common people for a month or so, for quite a while.
Yeah, yeah. We're just gonna have to sit back, wait, and see what happens here. I think it's bad, but at the same time, I could see somebody like Elon Musk doing cartwheels right now, because I'm sure a lot of people are sitting here reconsidering, maybe an electric car isn't a bad idea. Just saying that out loud. You know what I'm saying? Because then you don't have to deal with this kind of stuff. So there's that possibility as well. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Better engines, less fuel, and maybe in a few decades, kind of solar stuff like your Mr. Elon Musk guy. Exactly. You just read my mind, Roughneck. Real talk. You just read my mind. Real talk. That's what I feel like where we are all starting to like walk down. Getting more of those hybrid cars, or getting, electric powered cars from this point on. I feel like this is just what, in a way, is happening here, causing people to lean over and see that, oh, well, gas prices are going through the roof. It would be cheaper for me to just buy a car, an electric car, or a Tesla, if you will, than for me to go and keep buying gas to fill up this now gas guzzler. You know what I mean? Even a Prius is going to sit there and lose its value, because still needs gas to keep moving. You know what I mean? So it'll be very interesting. And Siri, I definitely understand what you're saying. She said, I wouldn't pin my hopes on Elon personally. Yes, I'm not sitting here saying that, but if we could get things moving so that Tesla's not the only car manufacturer that makes electric cars successfully and mass producing it, I think that would be really, really great. I mean, I'm all for stepping further away from the use of gas. I'm all for it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, just like Tim Ingram on Facebook said, I agree with this too. Gas will not go away in our lifetime. I don't think it's going to go away completely in our lifetime. I think we're going to get closer to a possibility of getting, more electric cars on the streets. But no, I don't think, shoot, people are still going to want to drive their classics. People are still going to want to have their classic cars, their big American-made muscle rides that need gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have trucks and semis that drive without diesel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot that we have to go towards. You know what I mean? There's a lot of work left to do before we have the entire world driving an electric car. I don't think it's going to be fully, but I could see a good percentage, a healthy percentage of at least the country driving electric cars, in the next few decades. But like I said, it's not like he's going to be manufacturing 1 million cars today. You know what I'm saying? If there's suddenly a full-on cutoff of gas, I think that'll turn into, I could see that becoming violent. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, though Tesla vehicles are electric, they do require a lot of fuel to produce. You need a lot of fuel for the plastics and the oil and all the oils in there. So while the Tesla itself is, once you have it, it's electric, it does use a lot of fuel to make it. And almost all of that power that you're inserting into the vehicle already comes from fossil fuels. So that power you're pulling out of the outlet is probably already done by coal or gas or something like that. So it's not just vehicles, I think, that we need. We do need to find a way to produce better green energy. And I do think Elon Musk is probably in the best position to do that. Bezos might be able to as well, depending on how his space projects go. Because really the best green fuel is satellite-based solar panels. And we're at the point where we could actually do that. But until then, every production of Tesla requires a lot of fuel, and every time you charge up, you're using fuel. You're just not using it directly. It's being converted into electricity, and then you're absorbing it. So I do agree with you that electric vehicles are a way to get forward on this. However, we do need to also change our production so that like our production and power production standards so that these vehicles are actually not end up using fuel just as much as other vehicles because of all that production and stuff.
Right.
And yeah, so I don't think that, I mean, I think you need both, basically, electric vehicles, and we need to change the main form of power that comes through the U.S. So yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that if it was easier for people to obtain, transportation or, obtain power for transportation in their own way, meaning like if they were able to have it in the comfort of their own home so that they don't have to go somewhere, or for example, you buy a Tesla, right? You get a Tesla all hooked up to your place, right? Or, hooked up. You're driving around, you run out of power. Let's just say you run out of power. Where do you go and fill up? Where do you go and recharge? Not a lot of opportunities out there. It's not like you can pull up to a gas station and it's right there. Lo and behold, there it is. There's power. You just plug it in and, few seconds, maybe a minute or two later, your car's fully charged. It's not like that. So there's a lot of things that need to be accommodated before there is a change in power. If everything becomes electric or solar powered, if you will, there needs to be the certain accommodations for said new transportation or new power, right? So there's a lot to do. And like I said, if this turns into they didn't want to cause chaos. They didn't want to cause anything except get some monies. I get that. But no, they were trying to create chaos. And that's exactly what's happening right now. It's a tiny bit of chaos. It's not like it's not psychotic or anything, but it is a small bit of chaos. It is. And it's just hopefully it only gets this crazy, but it's a small reminder of what could come, right? If every other place has a shortage of gas, do you realize how bad that will be? And how expensive gas is going to get? The prices are going to hike. Next thing you know, people are going to fight. People are going to get angry. There's going to be a war for gas on towards each other. It's going to be a domestic war for gas. They'll be fighting for gas if it was to get to that place. Isn't that a Mad Max or something like that? Or is that just water? That's Mad Max. It's Mad Max. They're fighting over gas. You know, like that's some real stuff. So, you know, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Roughneck. Just so you know, the guy on the right, or not me, but the other guy. His name is David. He goes by Tanuvane. I don't know if you have a YouTube account, but I don't think he puts up.
I don't really have a channel right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have a channel. Just so you know. So I mean, the whole gas station situation, or the whole gas situation, is really, really bad, and it could get worse. It could very well get worse. But this would be really crappy for any person who's trying to go out there, kick it, travel. If you're trying to fly right now and all that, that would not be a good thing. You know what I mean? It would not be a good thing at all. So it could get very, very dangerous. So hopefully we will get things figured out, for sure. Hopefully we'll get things figured out. You know what I mean? Mr. Super. You can find Tanuvane on Grindr. Man. Mr. Super can't. With the jokes. Yeah, he's like, hell no, you can't. But yeah. So that's what's going on with that, guys. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Like I always say, if this is your first time checking out this show, please go crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I do a Tuesday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tune in and enjoy the conversation. Hit that like button down below. That would really, really mean a lot. Don't forget to hit that join button, $4.99 a month. Helps fuel this show so I could keep giving you guys your stories of the day. So please Go crush that. That would really, really mean a lot. Anyway, we got to get into other stuff, maybe some lighter conversations, because, you know, we could talk about fuel, gas all day long, red beans and rice, and all that. But I don't know if you guys know this, but Lilly Singh, she's a YouTuber, etc. She has a show, or had, a show called A Little Late with Lilly Singh. All right. And it aired in 2019. Well, the show has finally been canceled. Just to say that out loud, I just want you guys to know. Finally canceled. And I say finally because the show was not good. I was very excited because, you know, this is a woman of color. She's a female person of, you know, a person of color, Indian, like everything you could think of to add into what makes her unique and interesting to watch. And the fact that she has her own talk show, that she's going to have her own late night talk show. I was very, very excited about it for her. I was very excited for her. The first episode wasn't so good, but I understood that it was a first time. It was the first pancake. And I'm thinking things are going to get better over time. It can only get better in time, right? Right? No. The show just got worse over time. All right. And then what's crazy to me is that the Pioneer said, that's sad. I didn't watch her show, but she was fine. That's why I liked her. LOL. Yeah. Beautiful woman, etc. I mean, a lot of people were sitting there going, oh, you know, she's just, you know, that overly woke woman that keeps saying that she's a bisexual person, woman of color, and all that. That's one of the things that you'll hear from the right a lot. From the right commentators, right-wing commentators will sit there and say over and over and over again how she is, you know, oh, she's a woke, you know, bisexual woman of color. That's what they kept saying. But they ain't wrong with what they're saying. Every joke that she had was literally that. Every single joke was the exact same joke. It never got old. It was like she was saying, hey, everybody, just to let you know, I'm a bisexual woman of color. Just wanted to let you know. Did you know that? And it's like, bruh, we already seen that. We've been known that. I mean, you watch the show and we see you. We can physically see you. We don't need to hear this all the time. Okay? We get it, man. But the thing is that they gave her, okay, so they did a first season, okay? Her first season was trash, y'all. Like I said, the first episode that you watch, the first pilot show, is the exact, like you could basically say it's the exact same show for a whole season. I don't know how many episodes she did, but she did a lot, okay? Now, Siri says, who is this person? Lilly Singh is a.k.a. Superwoman, okay? She has a YouTube channel that is absolutely huge. All right. Millions and millions of subscribers. She's a very, very, as Nur just said, she is a very famous YouTuber. OK, very popular and very talented. I'm not going to sit here and say that she isn't talented. All right. But she did this show, or she did her YouTube channel. Lots of great content, all that stuff. A lot of her stuff had to do with her growing up, being Indian in Canada and all this stuff. She, like I said, very smart, very talented girl, and very relatable, you know, very marketable. Next thing you know, she gets a TV show, her own late night talk show. And she's going, I'm about to break the mold because every other late night talk show host that we have right now is literally male and white. And that's pretty much true, except for like Trevor Noah. And I think that's about it, right? You know, you take him out and majority of them are white and male. So she's going in there and going, I'm about to shake things up. Well, like I said, you watch her first episode and it's not good, but you're going, okay, you know, it gonna get better. You know what I'm saying? She's still good. It gonna get better. And it didn't. It got worse. Everything was bad. Not funny at all. At all. Okay. Let me pull up a little photo of her so you can get an idea of what we are talking about here, okay? But long story short, she was somebody who we all thought, a lot of people got excited about her, thinking, oh, there's a lot of promise. She has a lot of promise, y'all. And unfortunately, this show was so bad that it just tanked. It just absolutely tanked. Let me show you guys what I mean. Here is some photos of her real quick. All right. Now, this is Lilly Singh. All right. I mean, she got a 1.9 rating out of 10 on IMDb. Audience scores at 19%. And guess what? This was off of her first season. Season number 1. Oh, you're going, wait a second. How could this be possible? Did my ears deceive me? No. Your ears did not deceive you. This woman gets a second season. A second one. By the way, she took over the slot. She took over Last Call. She took over the Carson Daly's talk show slot, Last Call. All right? She literally had an opportunity to just annihilate Carson Daly's show. Guess what? She did worse than Carson Daly's show. Worse than his show. She gets a second season. She does the exact same stuff. Everyone got excited because they're going, wait a second, let's give her a chance. You know what I mean? Give her a chance, man. Because she could be really funny. She's actually a really talented girl and her stuff is really funny when she really actually tries. But at the same time, no. Still canceled. All right. So here's the thing. The reason why I brought this up is because, one, her TV station, TV network, by the way, hire me. And second, these are the moments when I get upset about, oh no, because she's somebody who breaks the mold of what you see normally on late night television. Let's just keep giving her chances. She should have been canceled mid-first season, yet she still found a way to keep going and keep putting out really bad content. I mean, there's videos and pieces of content out there where you think that she would get millions of views. Her hanging out with Jay-Z or her hanging out with interviewing such and such. And these videos are getting like beyond low views and ratings. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in right now. We live in that world where it's all about numbers. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, if you're an actor in LA and you're auditioning for something, they literally will ask you, first they'll say, state your name, your age, so on and so forth, right? And the last thing they'll ask you is, how many followers do you have on Instagram? I'm not kidding you. They will literally ask you that. What's your number? How many numbers, how many followers you got on your Instagram or on your Twitter or something like that? Real talk. So when you see something like that, you're going, wait a second, there's plenty of other people of color that could have taken her slot with ease and would have annihilated that ish. But because they thought, oh, this is going to get a younger audience, she's on YouTube, she's got a huge following, it's going to bleed over. Once you start seeing what she does on the show, it ain't funny. It is not funny, y'all. I need to pull up a video, y'all. You just need to see some of this ish. I mean, it's bad.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I've watched like maybe 2 or 3 episodes of her first season, and they pretty much all had the same exact joke, and it was pretty bad. They weren't funny to begin with, I don't think, anyway. And I mean, yeah, she did have a strong following on.
Haven't even played anything yet. What the hell? What the same hell?
Yeah, I'm still showing buffering on YouTube.
Yeah, I got buffering too. Okay. I think nope. What the hell? Come on, man. Come on, man. I hate when this happens, bruh.
And it's happening on Twitch too, so I don't think it's YouTube.
No, it's full on internet.
Oh wait, actually, the Twitch one's kind of playing, but it's still buffering. It's not as bad as the YouTube one.
I mean, it's mine is going in, like, no, I'm looking at the internet right now, and it's just waving in and out. Okay, we're back to good. Okay, I think we got everything. I think we're back to normal. Okay. So annoying, y'all. Okay, we're back to normal. All right. Shoot. What were you saying? Because we I think it cut out right when you started talking, David. And then I got a clip that we got to take a look at. So go ahead, my brother.
Right. So I said, I basically watched 3 episodes of her first season, pretty much spread out across her season. I found the same thing as you, where she just basically repeats the same jokes over and over, and it's just not that great of a show in my opinion. Though I know she had a lot of problems with recording the show. I know that she had to record like 5 to 10 episodes a day in some cases, and that they would bring in audience members from outside for that. Oh yeah. So basically, a lot of times she would do all of these openings. She would do all these shows in the cold, basically, and probably using a first draft or an early draft from the way it sounds. I don't know if she had she did have writers, but I guess they weren't the best. You know, either way.
And I understand that piece, like that, and thank you for that added piece of like, she probably was just reading a lot of these jokes cold. Like I'm sure there was very little to no rehearsal before actually going in and actually doing said tapings of shows. Yes, there were a lot of people. I mean, there's a video out there that's gone like super crazy viral about a girl who said, "Hey, I was a audience member. You know, I went and was an audience member for Lilly Singh's show, so you didn't have to." And she talks about like literally her entire experience and how she sat through multiple tapings. It wasn't just one sitting. They just kind of switched people around, you know. And I get it. You know, a lot of shows will sit there and, you know, if they're balling on a budget, they'll shoot a gang of shows in one sitting. You know, they'll knock it out. They'll get David on, they'll get Chris CCC on, then Nur, then Siri, then Jasmine, all like just back to back to back. But then they'll put them out over the week, you know, and make it seem like, oh, you know, she just has to change her outfit. You know, all she has to do is change her outfit and this, that, and the third, and then we got a brand new show. You know, it's a different day now. You know what I mean? So I understand all those pieces, and I get that you're balling on a budget. You don't have much money, so you got to do whatever you can. You have to consolidate, but at the same time, when you have bad writing, when you have bad editing, when you have just low tier, what's the word? When you have low tier production, it affects the entire show in itself. And I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. If I was Lilly Singh and I had an opportunity to break the mold and do something different and because basically she was trying to be a late night Indian Ellen. Yeah. Basically, in a way, right? She's trying to do that in her own way, but at the same time, when you don't have the right writers, when you have you have a bad crew, and you're just putting this together, and you're so desperately wanting to be the first to ever do it, all of the goals go right out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like quickly, just fall right out the window. And I think she got more focused. I think she got more focused on that than she was on the actual show itself. You know, the ego, like the egotistical. I wouldn't even say. I'm not trying to say that she's an egomaniac or anything, but I'm just saying that egotistical feeling of being able to have a show, and it's like, I got a show on TV. I've broken out of YouTube, and now I'm on TV, and I'm one of the first ever to do it. A late night talk show. You know, let me just show you a clip. Let me just show you. I'm just going to show you a small clip. I'm not going to show you the whole piece of stand up here, but you're going to see what I mean by her let's just say stiffness. And yeah, she could very well be reading the hell out of this for the very first time live whilst taping this ish. Let's take a look.
We're going to talk about LGBTQ plus issues. That's right.
Did I mention that she is a bisexual woman of color? I'm just letting you know. Did you know that she's a bisexual woman of color? Here we go.
That's right, Twitter, start your engines. Now, as some of you may know, about a year ago, I came out as bisexual. I tweeted out, female, colored, bisexual. Throughout my life, these have proven to be obstacles from time to time, but now I'm fully embracing them as my superpowers. No matter how many boxes you check, I encourage you to do the same. And I really do. I encourage you to do the same. Here's the thing.
Now, obviously, with this crowd, they just switch them around. They rotate them after every show. You know what I mean? And then it would be like, oh, today's a Tuesday. And then they rotate them again. This is a Wednesday. You know what I mean?
Coming out was truly one of the scariest things I've ever done. And I chose to come out online, which is a great way to let people know something, especially if you want to instantly know exactly how they feel about you. But as scared as I was, I quickly realized that for every negative comment I received, I get 100 that were super supportive. And I was now part of this loving community that was ready to step up, support me, and fight the trolls. Yeah. It was literally the exact same plot as Harry Potter.
Huh? Funny? Funny? Is it funny? Just tell me, is it funny? Do you guys think it's funny? Is this stand-up at all funny? Does anyone think this is funny? Okay. So, like I said, I wasn't going to play the whole thing, but you get the general idea. Okay? I mean, there's another one that says Lilly is struggling to date women. Another one's called Can Society Please Leave Virgins Alone? Another one says the 5 stages of dating. Like, these are all her stand-ups. It's like, and I get it. She's doing something different. Like, I'm sure in the very beginning when she first started doing her late night show, she was doing stuff like, well, President Trump did this, wazzy, whoa. You know what I mean? Like the whole Johnny Carson, fake golf swing kind of thing. I get it. And they probably were like, baby, no. We don't need you to talk about anything political. Let's just make it personal. Your opening monologues. Like I said, a Indian Ellen. A late night Indian Ellen. That's literally what they're trying to do. Except she isn't lesbian, she is bisexual. That's it. That's all they're trying to do. But her jokes just fall flat. And you could hear everything being so, like, even in the interviews and everything, it's just not funny, y'all. Like, it's just forced, poorly put together. And you could tell everybody who's in there. I mean, you got people who are on there that are really funny people. And you're like, none of this is interesting. None of it. Now, I think it's a blessing that she's been canceled. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a good way. It gives her an opportunity to go back to what she's used to doing and what she's good at, which is her YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is really, really great. And I get it that she was probably trying to grow and blossom and change and all that. But at the same time, come on, y'all. Her stuff wasn't good. And it won't be good. No matter how many ways you fry this egg, it's still going to be an egg. I'm sorry.
It looks like for now she is planning on trying to get some sort of Netflix deal. She's been in talks with them, though they haven't really released any details about what's going to come from it. Other than that, she is working, I don't know this person, but she's working with someone called Kenya Barris as will be her co-star. And there haven't been much details released about this yet, but it seems like this will be a focus for a while. It's going to be Netflix. So I guess we'll see what she does with that.
I think that, okay, if they do Netflix, she has just got to take this a whole nother direction. That's what she needs to do more than anything in the world, because we are not in a place right now where we are willing to sit down and watch that kind of content from her ever again. Like I said, she has done some really, really great, funny skits, you know, and she has done some really, really great interviews when she's not on her late night show. Her late night show is something completely different, and it's terrible. But by the way, that reminds me, you know, I'm just gonna be completely candid with you guys, and then I got 2 more stories for you guys, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up in a nice bow, which means we're just gonna say goodbye. But a goodbye bow, But the thing is Bobo Badin Dot and Ch. Anybody remember that? So anyway, okay. I'm in the middle. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to say throw it out into the ether because this is something that's very important to me. Speaking of talk shows, right? So this show, as I've said a million times before, this show has had various versions of. There's been various versions of this show. The show that I'm doing right now, right here, the way it is right now, is it's the panty. You know what I mean? It's the panty version of what the show is supposed to be. And I don't mean undies. I mean, you know, the thing that we've been dealing with and why we're getting poked, you know, every day, and we're looking at these numbers when I say panty. Okay. So the thing is that I'm in the middle of looking for a new space. Yeah. I'm actually in the middle of looking for a studio to do my show in its full entirety. That is everything from. Oh, I'm gonna get to that, Mark. Why are you jumping the gun? I'm trying to tell you guys something good. Mark Jones. Damn. Okay, first off, here it is. I'm in the middle of. I'm just playing, Mark. I'm in the middle of looking for an actual space for my show. An actual studio where I can do my entire show in its full entirety. Yes, because of traveling or because of stuff that we're dealing with, like the Rona and all that. I am trying my best to still maintain video phone calls, video chats, etc. Like, having David on, for example, those things are still going to be elements to my show. But at the same time, there's going to be elements that I'm going to be adding on to the show. We're still going to be talking about heavy hitting stuff. We're still going to be, getting things moving on that regard or in that regard. The format of the show ain't going to change as much. Only thing is that you're not going to see this as much. That's the goal. Like I said, I'm still working on finding the space, and the space is not cheap. And so, I say that out loud because I keep saying, hey, if you can help us by hitting that join button, that can help a lot in regards to rent for this new space, etc. Because like I said, my goal is to be able to bring to you guys the exact version of this show that I've been dreaming in my head for the past year. And right now, I'm looking at a few spaces, and it could happen within this summer where I will have my own space. I will have a space to be able to do a full-on talk show again. That means live performances, bringing back the skits, games, etc. Still being interactive with you guys, with the fam. Still having David on and all the other co-hosts that come through on this show. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, because that, why I've been kind of in and out and haven't been able to do a show here and a show there and all that stuff. I've been doing a lot to upgrade the show. And I'm just talking about location wise. So that's something that I am working on. Like I said, got kicked on Facebook. What? I don't know. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that that's something I'm working on right now. Just trying to bring more to the show and find a better space. so I can have actual in-person conversations, like the interview I had with Jerry Lynn Sparling, the OnlyFans model. Being able to have interviews like that, more in-person conversations, is something that I'm trying to bring to the show. So I just wanted to let you guys know about all that. All right. And that's something that I'm not going to sit there and not be. I'd rather be transparent than sit there and not tell you guys what my goals are, what I have that I'm working on. Like I said, I have huge goals for this show, and I really want to bring those goals to light. So, like I say a million times, please hit that join button. Of course, support. That would really, really mean a lot. We got things going on. Exactly like Mark Jones said. He said, I like the animal show too. Yes. So being able to bring in those kind of elements back into the show, like it felt so good to hang out with Queenie the lemur. Real talk. It was terrifying getting draped with snakes, but it was still a great time. And it just felt good to be in this same room with another human being and just hanging out and having a good conversation. And those are the things that I want to bring back into the show. So that's what I'm looking to do, or that's what I'm in the middle of doing right now, which is looking for a space to call my own. Oh, and of course, live performances like music. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I said that. I don't think I said that. So, but like I said, bringing in musical guests, bands, artists of all kinds to perform live on the show. And so I'm in the middle of looking for some spaces right now. And I'm hoping that by this summer, by fall, I guess, late August time, I will have a place, that will be mine. And I could do whatever I want and make as much noise as I want. And it feels so damn good to know that I have those possibilities right around the corner. And I've been looking at some really great spaces, and I'm super excited about it. And I'm sorry for making this a personal thing, but I just want to let the family, all y'all who tune in, that watch it every single day, I wanted you guys to know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Because I just couldn't just be secretive for very much longer. So just saying that out loud. You know what I mean? I'm trying to give you guys as much content, as much interesting pieces of information and entertainment I can give you. All right. So just be on the lookout for that. I should be having some news here in the next few weeks. I'm hoping. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed. And then Immortal Badass said, bring Jack back. Bring Jack back. Now, Jack has been busy with his projects. I don't know if he's coming back anytime soon. He might be back later on this summer, but he has been so busy that he just hasn't had time to be on the show as of late. So I just wanted to let you guys know that as well. You know what I mean? Like I said, he literally went MIA because he's been so busy. So yeah, we all miss him here too. And hopefully he'll be back here soon. All right. But let's get into this next story. I found this very interesting as well. And this has to do with entertainment. But the Golden Globes are no longer going to be aired by NBC because of literally there's a diversity scandal going on. We got to take a look at this clip.
To Golden Globe. The 2022 Golden Globe Awards are without a network, and Tom Cruise is returning his trophies, all in response to the ongoing lack of diversity controversy with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Here's what we know.
I mean, I'm always kind of surprised with this stuff. You never know when it's going to happen.
On Monday, ET confirmed that Tom Cruise sent back his Golden Globe Awards to the HFPA amid the continued backlash the organization faces for its lack of diversity, an issue that overclouded the show earlier this year. And just hours later, NBC announced plans to break their long-standing relationship with the HFPA, and the network will not be airing next year's Golden Globes broadcast. NBC said in a statement, quote, "We continue to believe that the HFPA is committed to meaningful reform. However, change of this magnitude takes time and work, and we feel strongly that the HFPA needs time to do it right." right. As such, NBC will not air the 2022 Golden Globes. So what happens now? While the Golden Globes won't be on NBC next award season, the ceremony could find a home on another network or streaming service, but they run the risk of facing an empty ballroom if the stars continue speaking out. In February, this viral image from the Time's Up organization highlighted the lack of diversity among the HFPA, which is made up of journalists around the world. In response to a report from the Los Angeles Times, which first brought awareness to the HFPA having 0 black journalists in their ranks, the organization said in a statement, quote, "We understand that we need to bring in black members as well as members from other underrepresented backgrounds, and we will immediately work to implement an action plan to achieve these goals as soon as possible."
We working on it. Just letting you know, we're working on it. We already know what's going on, but we working on it.
The graphic was shared by stars like Sterling K. Brown, Mark Ruffalo, and Ava DuVernay, who wrote on Twitter, "Old news, new energy. Hashtag Time's Up, Globes." Additionally, Scarlett Johansson revealed in a statement that she's often faced, quote, "sexist questions and remarks by certain HFPA members that bordered on sexual harassment." On Monday, ET obtained a statement on behalf of the board members of the HFPA, which includes a commitment to systemic reform that is long overdue. Quote, "Regardless of the next air date of the Golden Globes, implementing transformational changes as quickly and as thoughtfully as possible remains the top priority for our organization." They also released an outline of their course of action from now until August, focused on achieving reform milestones.
Reform milestone? Okay.
Further into the ceremony's future, NBC didn't say they're opposed to picking up the broadcast again pending the HFPA's response. Their statement on Monday also said, quote, "Assuming the organization executes on its plan, we are hopeful we will be in a position to air the show in January 2023.
Okay, guys. There you have it. That's pretty wild, though, right? So no more. NBC is dropped. Golden Globes. Tom Cruise even gave back his Golden Globes because of the diversity scandal within the Hollywood foreign press. There's a lot to unfold on this situation. Obviously, this is a situation that's been growing for a while now. But at the same time, I'm going to say this. This is one thing I'm going to say. No one watches the Golden Globes. Does anyone really care about the Golden Globes? The only time that I'm going, okay, I care about the Golden Globes is when it has to do with comedy musical performances. Other than that, no one really cares about anything else because comedy doesn't get an Oscar. There's no comedy category in the Oscars. There's no musical category or like comedy and musical category in the Oscars. There's certain categories that people can only get from the Golden Globes. There's also like TV shows, etc., right? That have really great acting on those shows. And some of that is for these actors, it's the highest. It is the highest accolade that some of these television actors can get. So for me, I'm like, okay, I can understand like somebody who is, a huge fan of like This Is Us or any of these other TV shows that have great actors on them. I could see them being concerned about this happening, but at the same time, no one else really gives a damn about the Golden Globes. No one really watches award ceremonies anymore. Like, if you like a movie, you like it because it's good. It's not because, I heard they won an Oscar because of this, this, and this. Yes, it can help marketability, but that's about it. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So even people don't even give a damn about the Oscars anymore. The last Oscars tanked like a mother lover. So why does this even matter? I get it, bringing in diversity, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But at the same time, no one cares. No one cares about the Golden Globes. What are your thoughts, David? I
mean, I agree. I don't care about the Golden Globes, but I I don't know. This one's strange, I guess. I think one of the things that struck me first, unless I'm wrong about the actors you mentioned, I think all of them were white, weren't they? Like every person coming out speaking out against this is just white actors, I think. But either way, I kind of wonder why they're coming out with it now. I mean, it's a legitimate complaint and concern, but this has been the case with the HFPA for about 50 years. So it is a little weird they're coming about it now. Because I know there's some additional controversy. The HFPA is the one that is the foreign press for the Golden Globes, and they decided, I think it was last year, not to hire a diversity consultant. But at the same time, they released a plan showing that they wanted to increase diversity by changing their recruitment process. But I guess everyone thought it was just kind of too late at that point. Like I said, I don't really watch the Golden Globes, so I don't have any investment in that myself. But it just seems strange that they're waiting until now to bring it up. Because, like I said, this has been the way it has for a long time. I went through and checked real quick. The foreign press has been in basically the same status as it has been for a long time. I mean, it's not a bad idea to try and get more diversity in there at all. But I don't know. It's just like, why now? I'm just not sure why now. It seems more, I guess, kind of like publicity, just people turning in their Golden Globes to get some extra publicity and look good right now.
Well,
especially since, like you said, no one cares about the Golden Globes themselves. But I don't know.
What's funny to me is this. Tom Cruise suddenly sends back his stuff. Oh my gosh. Surprise, surprise. Yet this is something he's probably known about forever. So why does this even matter? If he had known this before, he should have turned in his Golden Globes back then. The fact that he's going to sit there and go, oh my God, how dare they? Well, I mean, he's not British, but you know what I'm saying. How dare they do that? I'm going to send back my awards. Send them back. But you've known about this all this time. You're going to do it now? That doesn't make any sense. Like I said, if it was a problem back then, you should have made it a problem back then. That's about it. This is too late, too little, too late. You know, you still have those names, those accolades under your name. It's not like you went up and pulled a Marlon Brando and said, you know what, I am refusing this award on behalf of the lack of diversity in the Hollywood foreign press. Thank you so much. I'm honored, but I rescind this award. Do that. I ain't seen nobody do that yet. Everyone's up there crying, going, you like me. You really like me. And they move on. Then later on they go, oh yeah, there's such a shame there's no diversity. Such a shame. Well, I mean, there's plenty of opportunities for these guys to go up there and say something. And now they're saying it now after the fact. I find it very weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, with so many press reporters, it seems unlikely that they wouldn't have a single black one with 87 foreign press reporters. But it's really, I don't know. Who knows what's going on with their hiring process? I mean, we know that Hollywood has a lot of problems with expecting favors to get any sort of progress, regardless of who you are. Obviously, they abuse people that are getting into the industry more than others. But yeah, I don't know. This is just, I mean, I agree with what you said. Like, they go in, they give out this big presentation when they win their award, telling about everything they care about. And then a few months later, they come back and kind of do it again. Like, look at how good I am. I just won this Golden Globe, and look how much better I am by giving it back. And it's just kind of like a publicity stunt to me. Though, like I said, I do think, I don't know if there has been intentionally keeping black people out of the HPFA. The numbers would kind of suggest that, just based on ratios. But either way, it's like I said, it's a problem that's been going on for a long time. I think this is just, at least for the people that like the big white actors that are coming out about it, like Cruise, it's just an extra chance to get even more fame from their Golden Globe,
clout
just in a different way.
Clout chasing, for without a shadow of a doubt. Real quick, Immortal Badass just said send a $5 super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He said, Pascal, warehouse rental probably cheaper than official film studio rentals for the show. Thank you so much. Yes, I do know that, and that's why I'm looking at other spaces. Just so you know. I've looked at everything from film studios all the way down to just literally like a glorified cubicle. And so I'm just figuring out what the next move is. So I appreciate the $5 super chat, Immortal. Thank you. Thank you. But yes, I feel like a lot of these people are just jumping on the clout bandwagon, using it as an opportunity to go, I'm woke. Guys, I'm woke. Did I tell you that I'm woke? Look how woke I am. I have awoken. I'm woke as F. You know what I mean? No cap. I'm woke. And that's fine. Whatever. It's cool. But at the same time, I don't think it's going to change anything. Yes, NBC dropped the show, dropped the ceremony, but shoot. I mean, Fox, CBS, any of these other TV networks will be willing to scoop up the bag. Real talk. They'll scoop up the bag. And they'll fix whatever needs to be fixed within the Hollywood foreign press and be done with it. But I want to say this, though, too. Every single time that they go up and get that award and they go, thank you to the Hollywood foreign press, they already know exactly what they're talking about. They're holding the award in their hands and they're giving a shout out, a full-on personal shout out to the Hollywood foreign press. And then every single time that they've won a Golden Globe, they've known what's going on. So why do they give a damn now? They should have given a damn back then, not now. That's it. It's kind of too little, too late, in my personal opinion. Sure, you're shutting it down and all that. Like I said, hey, there are too many award ceremonies. Real talk. They should just have one and call it a freaking day. I get that they have the SAG Awards. That's fine. All right? Do your SAG Awards. Do your Oscars. That's it. Put everything under the Oscars umbrella and be done with it. And keep it moving. That's it. Put in the category for comedy and musicals. You know what I'm saying? And some TV shows and all that on the Oscars and be done with it. The actors are doing the exact same job, if not harder, in some of these acting jobs. Real talk. Shoot. I've been saying it. We just had Burton LeBlanc on the show, head makeup artist, head of the makeup department for The Handmaid's Tale. But I'm telling you, The Handmaid's Tale, shoot, the amount of work that you have to do for that show, and that's 12 to 13 episodes, that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of acting. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of entertainment. That's more than just going into a movie theater and possibly watching something that could possibly be 3 hours long. You see what I'm saying? You're making 13 hours of content most of the time for consumers, for viewers, for an audience. That's a lot of work. Why not just sweep it all under the same rug? And the rug is called the Oscars and be done with it. Now I get it. They all want to get in their stuffy, tuxedos and, please each other, give each other a quick rub and tug live. I get it. But at the same time, you could have just be done. You could just be done with it. One show. One show to rule them all. Pop quiz, where's that from? I just changed a word. But anyway, I digress. Let's move on to the next conversation here. Okay, I know a lot of y'all don't give a damn about this, neither do I, but it was trending hard, so I figured we should talk about it, okay? Ben Affleck, okay? Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, a.k.a. J-Lo, could possibly be bumping uglies again after 17 years of not bumping uglies. Yeah. So in other words, Ben Affleck knocked the dust off that ish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But real talk, he be smashing. Allegedly. Allegedly. Go ahead, Dave.
It's funny, too, because it was just I don't remember, sometime this week or maybe last week where we looked at the video of him on some sort of Tinder for celebrities where he sends this message like, no, I'm really me. You can talk to me.
It's me.
And then J-Lo sees that and calls him up like, no, you don't need to go with that one.
No,
Just come over here.
He's like, remember what happened 17 years ago? Maybe we got to do that again. Okay, so apparently that's what's going on. A lot of people are losing their minds about this because they're going, what? Because she was engaged with some dude, A-Rod, and then now she ain't now she ain't married or going to marry this dude. Not at all anymore. So I'm curious if this whole situation is actually true or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out if they be smashing or not. Apparently they were caught at a resort together in Montana or something like that. Something random. Like, I don't even know why Montana, but okay. But clearly something's up. So everybody and their mama is talking about this. I know that Affleck has been, Batflick has been dealing with a lot of depression and all that. He's been in and out of happiness, right? Then you got J-Lo, who's been trying to find, looking penub in all the wrong places. So there's a good possibility that because they are not together, or like because they haven't found love in their own respective areas, that maybe they're going and turning around and going, hey, let's try this again and see what's up. So there you go. They were going to get married, and days before their marriage, by the way, days before their wedding, they called it quits because of a really crappy movie. Remember that movie, Gigli? Yeah, I remember that movie, Gigli. Everybody remembers that movie, Gigli. They got together and they did a movie called Gigli, and that movie was trash. And because that movie was trash, they broke up. So, 17 years later, they knocked the dust off that ish. Knocking the dust off that ish. So there you go. Bennifer is back. I really was not looking forward to hearing that ever again. Bennifer, you know what I'm saying? Like Bradgelina, like that crap that people were starting to put together. But yeah, they're trying to bring that back again. So there it is. They be stroking Kiki of 5, exactly. They be stroking, like real talk, straight up.
It's not too surprising. I mean, everyone's
Ben
probably
Affleck,
been a little lonely.
Ben Affleck is knee deep in that, you know what I'm saying? All up in that now. Well, I mean, he is in a place that a lot of men have fantasized. Sitting next to her in the car, driving to this resort. That's all I'm trying to say. So, hey, congratulations to them if they want to get back together. Cool. I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Yay. I mean, I don't really care, personally. But, hey, people are losing their minds over this. And I think it's possible that you could rekindle an old flame. I think it's possible. Most definitely.
Especially, I think, during this time, people would do that. Or people are doing that more just because they're not seeing any new people, or at least not many new people for a year or so, and most likely aren't seeing their faces at least. So, a lot of people, I can see how a lot of people would hook up with someone they've been with before because they don't have anyone else to talk to during the quarantine, or at least depending on where you live, you might not have been able to.
Yeah. It's funny because Kiki said, I swore it was called Giggly. Giggly. That's funny as hell. No, Gigli. But Siri also said, my husband had J-Lo all over his barracks room. Yes. I have a friend of mine, her dad used to say, well, that Jennifer Lopez is one handsome woman. I ain't never heard a man call a woman handsome until somebody was trying to tell me how good looking J-Lo was by calling him handsome. They said, now that's a handsome woman. I'm like, bruh, I'm done. I don't even know how that even works, but okay. That works just fine. Hey, if they want to get back together and rekindle whatever the hell it was, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, as long as it doesn't trigger him into, because he has some issues with alcohol abuse and depression and all that. So I'm hoping that this does not turn into a thing that bleeds over into something where it's detrimental to his health. Because obviously,
Yeah,
from my understanding, she seems to be fine. You never hear any stories about her and substance abuse. So I'm assuming she's going to be fine. You know what I mean? But what were you going to say, David?
Yeah, I was just gonna say he kind of like vanished ever since the Justice League thing. I mean, he showed back up for reshoots for the Snyder Cut, but he's kind of been gone since then. And I'm sure he did mention being like kind of depressed over the outcome of all of that because he was supposed to have his own Batman movie where he got to direct it and act in it.
Right.
And they ended up canceling that. And
Well,
then
he
they
stepped
ended
down.
up.
He stepped down because it was too much pressure for him. He literally put out a tweet saying, I understand that wearing the Batman suit comes with a lot of responsibility, and I want to step away from actually directing and writing it. I just want to act in it. So there was a lot of talk about him doing it, but yeah, I think the pressure was too much on him, and too many fanboys and stans. You know what I mean? That are just all about Batman. I mean, if he messed that up bad, he would have never heard the end of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he hasn't heard the end of Geely for crying out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think expectations are weighing heavily on him. I mean, this was with George R.R. Martin, who wrote like the Game of Thrones things, but books and the TV show. But just like a few weeks ago, he kind of said what you're saying about here. Like, he's probably not going to finish the next book because so many people are expecting things from him. It's just too stressful for him to focus on actually doing his work at this point. And I could definitely see that being the same with Ben Affleck as well.
I think Ben Affleck is a talented dude. He has made some really crappy movies in the past, but he is actually a pretty good storyteller. He's done some really great movies, directed some really great movies that people, I think, were very surprised at how good they were. And I could see something for him in the future of him just staying behind the camera and just making movies, writing movies and making movies. I could see that actually happening. But at the same time, we'll see what kind of effect Jennifer Lopez has on his ass now, 17 years later. If it drags him into darkness even more, that's not a good thing, But if they're giving it another go, or you never know, they could just be entertaining each other during this time. They could just be enjoying their time together. You feel me? They could be like, hey, we've had fun in the past. Let's just keep having fun. You know what I'm saying? That could very well be it. Like, all right, no strings attached. Let's just kick it. Like I said, just skadoosh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A new blockbuster. Exactly. Them coming together and making a movie.
Yeah. Movie.
They better be careful nowadays. I mean, there's cameras and surveillance videos and everything's, they got cameras the size of a pea. You know what I mean? Like, careful, careful, everybody, careful. But anyway, guys, that is the show today. I appreciate all y'all for being on today. If you guys are at all in the southern region where this Colonial pipeline hack has happened, hopefully you're not sitting in line too long for gas. I would get some containers or canisters, and fill those bad boys up with some gas because, this might be like this for the rest of this week. It might be like this. I don't even know how long. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But my fingers are crossed, and I'm hoping everybody's going to be all right in regards to all that. Seriously, my thoughts and prayers go out to all y'all because I know how important it is. All of us have jobs. We all got work to do, and a lot of us are not working from home. A lot of us are not lucky enough to work from home. So having access to gas is crucial for a lot of us. So anyway, I appreciate all you guys for being on. David, thank you so much for being on, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of interesting topics today.
Interesting topics, yes. We like I said, not every show is going to be about police brutality and hashtag justice for somebody. Like, we need a break from those from time to time. You know what I'm saying? And I got plenty of those stories coming up here very, very soon too. But at the same time, it's nice to just kind of keep it light, keep a show light and not want to cry every show, for crying out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, just keep it light. Keep it light today. You know what I mean? The pioneers, it makes you wonder what is being talked about in the classroom. Maybe not a lot of talking is going on. Maybe a lot of yelling, fighting, and smoking takes up most of its time. LOL. I guess they're talking about something else.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Actually, speaking of schools, so New York just started bringing students back, right? But only 50% of them are showing up, and that's including online. So right now, New York's having this problem where half of all high school students are not going to school.
Really?
And they're supposed to, yeah. It was just, they just mentioned it, I think, yesterday.
Wow.
Near 50% are just not showing up online or in person at the schools anymore.
Now they're too busy playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
They're sitting there going, wait. I could make a crap ton of money streaming online and do a show like.
Yeah. Eventually.
Seriously, they're just going, hey, I'm just going to play a whole bunch of video games. F it. I don't care anymore. I don't want to go to school. Who wants to go to school? Not me. You know what I'm saying? So I could see them just sitting there going, nah, we good. Mom, do I really have to go to school? Really? I'm not learning anything anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah, no kidding. The Pioneer said, give us Brother Pascal, give us another hour for this subject. Nope, not today. Unfortunately, not today. But tonight I could possibly talk about it, about this 50% attendance at school, which is terrible, because that's something new to me. Chris CCC just said they busy with Roblox. Yeah, see, the thing is your son told me about Roblox, and still to this day I have not checked it out. Now I feel like a jerk. I'm going to have to look that up here very, very soon, okay? But I will be on tonight, and of course there'll be a pop-up video here in a little bit for sure, all right? So if you haven't done it yet, hit that like button down below. That would mean a lot. Like I said, it's nice to just be able to talk about lighter subjects and all that, and instead of we're all gonna die, you know what I mean? Like every single show, that's a little tough sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, damn 2K. Facts, Kiki. That's the other one too. I forgot about 2K. Thank you. The 2K, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Call of Duty, that COD. I'm telling you, man, these kids are stuck on it. You know what I mean? You know, they literally look like dope fiends. You take them away from them, they're like, come on, man. Just let me play a little bit. Can I just hold let me hold the controller. Can I just hold the controller? I'm really just holding my hand, man. Just let me hold in my hand. It's like that. Real talk. Anyway, it's facts. They're like, they're all like falling all over the floor and angry as hell. Because why? You know what I mean? Like, why? Because you're not being able to play a video game for 15 minutes? Come on. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You know what I mean? I got these cheeseburgers, man. Anyway, Fallout, there it is. So there's a lot of good games, video games out there that people are obsessed with. I don't own a video game console, nor have I ever played any of those games. I've only played Call of Duty once. Yeah, once. I just don't play video games. I'm just not a video games guy. That's just me, though. You know?
Yeah.
But anyway, again, thank you all for being on today. I love all you guys. You guys are amazing. Kiki of 5, I don't even know how 2K got your TV broken, but tell that to, that's a good excuse to use for the to the manufacturer to see if they can actually, give you a new TV if it's under warranty and whatnot. So that's a good one. 2K broke our TV. It wasn't the remote control that got thrown. It wasn't the remote control. I don't know what you're talking about. My son just plugged in the thing, and the colors and the graphics were so vibrant that the TV just broke. Kiki of 5 was almost Kiki of 4. Bruh, I understand that feeling. Anyway, Nintendo or die. Oh my gosh. Man, I haven't played a Nintendo in a long time. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Stay positive and stay wonderful out there. I will see you guys very soon tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. I'll see you guys tonight. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Peace and wellness for the holidays. Don't cancel them. Prepare, STL. Decorate. Make it as normal as you can, but slow the spread of COVID. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Watch your distance. Prepare, STL, helping St. Louisans of color prepare and prevail.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You go from